Welcome back, folks. For this episode, I sat down with Kayla Giovinazzo, fellow New Jerseyan and the founder and president of the infamous Eat Clean Bro, which is a massive meal prep company on the East Coast based in New Jersey. If you're from New Jersey, you know the company. I enjoyed this conversation. Jamie has a great backstory, and it's fun to talk to him. The video is not synced up to the audio correctly. I had some issues with my software, and I debated on just doing an audio podcast just because it's not synced up, but I like having some sort of visual, and it's organic, so whatever. So I ran with it. Thanks, guys, for listening and tuning in. Enjoy the show.
Of course.
Yeah. So I know you've been over it a lot, the background story of Eat Clean Bro, but I'm living in Arizona, so for those listeners as well, if you can give them a sort of intro as to who you are and how you got started with Eat Clean Bro.
Yeah, I'm a regular guy who liked cooking, and I started cooking for my friends on accident, and I kind of fell in love with just being able to make an honest living. Obviously, everybody wants to get rich. They can tell you, no, money's not this, money's not that. But the truth is, everybody wants to have financial freedom, right? It's something everybody wants. But I was never willing to bend my integrity or do anything I thought was wrong to make money as a kid. I started doing this when I was 19, and I always felt like people in suits were up to no good, and you got rich by fucking slitting people's throats. And I didn't really understand much as a young kid. And once I started cooking for my friends, I was like, wow, I could make a great meal, charge an honest price, and make a little money. And if I sell enough of these meals, I could be successful. And it was really kind of just simple thinking and fundamental things. It's like a story of passion, man. Like, a lot in my industry has changed. It's kind of weird. You spend like 15 years of your life being called absolutely crazy, and then a couple fucking articles go up on the Wall Street Journal, private equity dives headfirst, and then like you go from you're this maniac cooking cold chicken to now you're in one of the hottest industries ever. And it was a really wild ride from 2005 to now. Almost like 19 years later. I'm just like, fuck, man, fucking what a ride,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I answered the question. It's hard to go back in time. Like when I was 19 years old, like people ask me questions about how I started. Like I was 19 years old. I had no idea what the fuck was going on, what I was doing. I was completely self-taught. And then obviously as my life progressed and my experience progressed and my responsibilities progressed, I changed and evolved as a man. My outlook on life evolved and progressed as a man. And it's just been a constant evolution and progression and constant improvement and never-ending improvement in the pursuit of trying to be successful. So, it's as far as Eat Clean Bro and everything, I think I'm the last man standing as far as self-funded, family-owned. I'm pretty sure there's no one even remotely close to as successful as I am, self-funded wise. And if it wasn't for private equity, Eat Clean Bro would be the only reputable company you could order from pretty much east of the Mississippi, which is funny because at this point that's all that's left, which I don't know why anybody even buys food from these guys, but I don't know.
Yeah. Let me know if I'm delayed on your end, by the way. Like my audio delayed a little bit. Or are you good? I can always chop this.
No, I'm good. I can hear you.
Good? All right, bet.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, obviously, you're all over the East Coast, and it's hard to go backwards into your mind and into your journey, especially now you're looking back, and again, you've relayed this story to a number of people. It's still cool because it's it's like a young dude who had this passion. But you quoted in another podcast, you said you'd rather have a ranch of bricks over a skyscraper of straws.
Yeah.
I like that. What can you expound on that for people? Because I do think in today's world, everyone with the social media and all this shit, they all want all the attention and all the money, but they don't want to necessarily build a strong foundation.
Yeah. So I've been around the rise and fall of a few entrepreneurs, and the climb to the top is the fun part. The climb to the top is the fun part. And there's nobody in business. You're not going to have this in your career. You're going to have setbacks. You're going to get knocked off the horse. You're going to fall down the mountain. And I've seen entrepreneurs with their ego who were to their core, like kind of the success got to them. They thought they were invincible. And when that time came where they fell down the mountain, nobody helped them back up. And I thought I was ultra aware of this time, and I thought I was ultra safe, and I thought I was financially conservative, and I thought I made like a lot of smart decisions. But for me, man, I got thrown off that mountain with hyperinflation, botched construction. I got hit with every single world event at the worst time you can imagine. And for me, what I went through would have been the end for most people, but because I was always putting others first, because I was always helping people, when I made phone calls for help, people stepped in and helped me. So when I say I'd rather have a skyscraper of, when I say I would rather, it basically comes down to when I was a little kid, my grandmother would read me the story of the Three Little Pigs, and that story is important because the first pig builds his house of straw and he's relaxing and he's sitting back, and it's like kind of a story of work ethic, but for me it's more of like a story for prepare for the future and always be ready for whatever threat comes your way. The big bad wolf is always coming, and the more prepared you are for it, and the better prepared you are for that wolf, your life, there's always somebody having a horrible time and having a tough comeback and a rebound and all that. And I'm going through it right now, but had it not been for the way I was, like, I don't know if anyone could have survived it like I did.
You think so obviously being of service is important to you. And if you are always willing to lend a hand, that hand will come back to you. Is that what you feel a big baseline of your persona is, or your yourself or your brand? Is it just who you are? You want to help other people?
Yeah. Yeah. I know how hard it is. I know how hard life is, and I just always feel like I want to make the world. I want to leave things better than I found them, and sometimes that gets me in trouble because you can't help everybody, and some people don't want your help. But for the most part, giving back and offering advice or being there for people or helping people any way I can has always been the MO. And it did really come back for me when I needed it most, which was good. So for people understanding, I was able to bring in $4 million in new business with like 3 phone calls. So there's some people in sales, or there's some people in business, they can't even get their business to 4 million, let alone just 3 shots, 3 kills, just phone call number 1, bang, phone call number 2, bang, phone call number 3, bang. And it was just friends, cashing in favors. Yeah, Jamie, sure. Any way I can help. Well, okay, you could help if, can I make your sauce? Can I make this? Can I make that? Can I make your sandwiches? Can I make your salads? Like, literally just doing any type of co-manufacturing possible to alleviate, the increased costs, the increased every single thing. Like hyperinflation 2022 was like, honestly, quite possibly next to like the Great Depression, probably one of the worst fucking times we've seen in like 100 years. So, um, it was
Yeah, yeah,
fucking hard. It
yeah.
was a hard time.
The costs are insane. I mean, I'm working for. I'll share more after we're done recording, but I work for a company my cousin owns in the food industry, and
Yeah.
it's yeah, it's insane. It was insane after COVID, and um, where are you at now? Like, let's say you have a bunch of do you have a bunch of like facilities where you're pumping out a bunch of where you're doing all the cooking and pumping out the meals, and like what how many locations do you have, how many states are you serving?
Yeah. So we're, I don't know the number of states. We're basically east of the Mississippi River, and the reason that is just essentially, man, the way the zones are, like the logistic zones in the United States, 2-day ground for the fresh product. That's the affordable shipping area we're able to hit. So I tell people we're east of the Mississippi. I built an enormous commissary. So we'd have like 18,000 square feet of food manufacturing space. I did construction during the worst time in the history of the United States. I was dealt with every single world event imaginable, hyperinflation, freaking supply chain issues, delays. I mean, it was a total massacre that I'm almost out of dealing with. We're moving full force with some more retail stores. Um, Basically, the internet is fucking crazy. So the my wife my wife just ran the New York City Marathon, and I was getting all pumped up, so I started running. And holy shit, man, I got like a black lung, dude. My lungs are burning from running. So I got this cough. So
Mm,
basically, what I think I'm going to do to combat the high price of the internet and also the high price of billboards, and pretty much the high price of everything, is I'm going to start opening up these retail stores all over New Jersey where I could utilize my retail space as an advertisement in itself and be able to offer the customers a pretty good discount on picking up and buying in store, save money on the logistics costs and the delivery staff. So that's what I'm going to be rolling out and focusing on. That's going to be the expansion I'm excited for. I can't come close to Factor 75. They're spending $1 million a day. They have a sales team over 1,000 marketing people. I'm not interested in competing with Factor 75. Financially, it makes absolutely no sense. It makes
mm,
financially no sense for them either. I mean, I don't know what their grandmaster plan is, but they're they don't make sense either. I mean, the second they stop doing their coupons and they scale back their marketing, that company is going to be vaporized. So anyway, as far as like the online goes, I've had enough. Had enough of online. The content creators, the fucking bullshit. I'm like, dude, enough is enough, man. I've literally had enough. I mean, you're just under
yeah.
constant attack on the internet, dude. I fucking had it. Come to one of my stores and you know, it's enough. I've had enough. Like seriously.
Yeah, well, the lack of authenticity, and then you have a bunch of bullshit, and a lot of different people trying to break into a space, or they see something works, and then they want to try it, and it's just like, it's a skyscraper of straw. Essentially, it's
Yes.
not real, but um,
And dude,
you
let me
know,
tell you something. There's two ways, right? You want to con somebody. There's more than two ways, but essentially, there's sex and fear. So in advertising, if someone's like using all these hot, sexy people to sell their product, or if they're using fear marketing tactics to sell their products, you know that you're being conned because you con people by playing their emotions. Now, when it comes to health, people want to look better because people want to have more sex, right? That's what we were put on this earth for.
mm,
It's just the truth, all right? You could take it however you want. Man or woman, we were put on this earth to reproduce and have sex. That's why we're here. We want to look good. We want to be attractive. We're afraid of dying. Fear of death is one of the 6 basic fears in human beings, right? Nobody wants to fucking die. They're scared of dying. Now, when it comes to health, you have all these gurus and people talking about cancer, heart disease, dying, right? They're giving this blanketed health advice. Now, I'm coming forward and I'm saying, listen, get your fucking blood work done and get your genetic testing done
mm,
because there is no blanket, there is no one size fits all. My
mm,
uncle just had too many strokes and it set the alarm off in my family because my other uncle had strokes. Now we find out we have this gene mutation that makes blood clots. So I'm like, fuck, you know? So now I start researching blood clots, and essentially, dude, there's 1,000 ways to die, and everyone's different. Like your fingerprints, right? Everyone has different fingerprints. If you are not in tune with what's going on with your blood work, so basically you need to start with basic blood work, right? Get your panels done. Does your cholesterol, you get your fucking blood pressure done, your cholesterol, your glucose, your platelets in your blood, all this shit, your hormones, everything. Like the doctor will go over it. And then you get your genetic testing done to see if you pop for any, like, you know, I mean, dude, if we want to start getting into health, legitimately, there's 1,000 ways to die. So I'm surrounded by medical staff, tons of medical people, and I'm constantly trying to learn about how to stay healthy and how to survive. So I get the news about this gene mutation. I start talking to my registered dietitian. It's in-house registered dietitian. We start talking about the gene mutation. My friend Jen from IVs by the Seas, nurse practitioner. I get to the whatever. By the way, fast forward, I got my blood work and my all my genetic testing done by a hematologist. So people when I start talking like this are like, where do I start? Go to your primary care doctor, get your first round of blood work done, and then request to go to a hematologist to get your genetic testing done to get checked for any like blood clot disorders or anything you can think of. Just go get checked for it if it's in your family history. So like with your health, you have certain markers, right? Overweight, not good. And as you get older, you just run out of time. We all die. So like that's morbid, but like we're gonna die, right? You age out and you die.
It's reality.
Even if you make it to 120. So now back to the blood clots. So there's a ton of shit about saunas, right? The benefits of saunas. You seeing that shit? You see it?
Of course I do.
I go in the sauna all the time. I love the sauna. But let me tell you, if you're not rehydrating yourself and you're not paying attention to what's going out, if you're not putting it back in and you're fucking dehydrated all the time, you don't want to be fucking dehydrated if you have a blood clot mutation. You want to make sure that your blood is hydrated, that like your circulation is happening. So I'm donating blood. My blood is fucking black. I just did like crazy sauna sessions. And I'm like, holy shit, like I'm super dehydrated. This is bad for me because of the blood clot mutation. I don't want to go on blood thinners yet. And I'm taking a logical approach to my health because I have real information. And I'm not just being fucking lied to, like, oh, do the sauna, do this, do like people trying to sell you products on health, on how to live longer. The only way you're going to live longer is if you take an individual approach to your health, get your fucking blood work done, and get your genetic testing done, and know about your family history. If you have a family history of fucking thyroid cancer, get the fucking markers checked. Get it fucking checked, dude. Get ahead of it early, and then monitor your diet and your activity to that specific cancer. You have cardiovascular disease, the number one way to die. Then you have cancer, and then I think it's actually medical malpractice, which is 3, and then 4, I think it's like overweight diabetes. I think medical malpractice number 3 is actually pretty wild, considering like that's like the top 3 or something.
Pretty
like,
gnarly, yeah.
It's pretty wild considering that like the medical field's the ones trying to save you, and they're like right behind cancer when you think about how many people die from cancer, right? So
the system's definitely broken, but yeah, taking that individualized approach. Well, everyone's trying to fucking sell you something, and we all have to make a living, and we all got to have our business, and we all want to share what we know. But yeah, if you're a con artist on the internet, which there's a lot of them, you're gonna tell people you should do this, and then some people just run with that information and they think it's correct, and myself included. Yeah. I'm sure I've told people some bad shit, but it's But yeah.
Oh yeah. So I'll tell you a funny story. So, you know, Mike the Situation's like one of my best friends, and he sends me this article about like what to do for your blood. And it says like take vitamin K. Now, you have to worry, like if you take certain supplements without other supplements, it could form calcium buildups in your, carotid arteries, your heart, which by the way, I got those ultrasound and I got all that shit checked out. I'm good, 0 plaque, but when you have blood clot issues, like if your blood clots, you don't want vitamin K, because vitamin K it increases your blood clot. So it was just funny, like even from like a doctor who I don't think is a con artist, but when these doctors are out, they're out administering blanketed health advice. Like some people could listen to that advice and it could fucking kill them. And that's why at Eat Clean Bro, we've always been arm's length away from medical claims. We've always been super transparent in our ingredients, and our food is great. I think our food is, I don't think there's anyone doing prepared meals better than me, not even remotely close. But the truth is, it's in your hands to, it's fucking crazy, bro. I'm Eat Clean Bro. I've been eating healthy my whole life. And for what I have, my gene mutation, I need to not eat leafy green vegetables. That blew my fucking mind. I'm like, what the fuck did you say to me? Like, I've been eating broccoli, spinach. I've been eating this shit my whole life. I love it. I mean, it's like one of my favorite things. And they're like, yeah, you got to watch your vitamin K because it could, too much vitamin K is not good for blood clots. So,
yeah.
I'm like, wow.
I mean, and then there's the just you got to take as much information as you can, and then also still just you have to live too. So you have your, you also have to use your mind, your exercise, like that can offset certain diseases as well, because you can't control everything, unfortunately. But I think that controlling your mindset and your stress level as much as possible is also extremely helpful. Being around good people, being
man.
happy.
Well, yeah. And dude, understanding what all this does, right? So they say exercise. Well, exercise is good for circulation. It's good for your heart. It's good for oxidizing the blood. It's like there's all these health benefits. So drill into what you're doing that's good and learn about it. Do more of it. Try to cut back with what you think you're doing bad. I mean, but then, you still got to live. So these are all important thing. But for me, back to retail, these people are driving me fucking crazy. And, well, dude, think about how easy it is, right? I could tell you, hey, man, that fucking, what are you drinking right there? You got a drink with your hand? What are you drinking?
I got water and coffee.
Oh, man, dude, the microplastics in that cup, dude, that's going to fucking give you intestinal cancer, dude. You got 30 days to live, man. It's all over for you, That's the internet right now.
For sure.
That's literally the internet right now telling you everything you do is going to fucking kill you. Yeah, no shit. It's going to kill me anyway. Like, I wonder if this is going to kill me. Probably is too.
It's something. Well, you brought up death. I think that's an important subject. People, all of us are scared to die to some extent. Some people can say they're not, but I think it's the unknown. We all are, no matter how many psychedelics you do or whatever. You're not going to know until you get there. But it's a good subject to think about because then it'll make you take care of yourself. It'll make you love your family more. My friend Ryan and I did a podcast like a month ago or something, and he talks about it all the time. Death is the ultimate teacher. It makes you think, again, more importantly, about how am I taking care of myself, but also it makes you more present. It can make you a better person depending on how you reflect on it. So I think it's an important point.
That's right, man.
What ingredients at Eat Clean Bro, and I've had your food, so I think I already know this, but what ingredients do you prefer to use and then versus keeping out of your food to keep from too much bullshit getting into it?
Yeah, so we do, we've always been cooking with like extra virgin olive oil. That's like one of the things. And like essentially across the board, we just look to improve the ingredients. So like the pastas are from Italy. We have like the non-GMO, the rice, non-GMO. The tomatoes are from Italy. I have a menu of like over 127 different things, and people always come back to the fucking buffalo chicken wrap, dude. It's so annoying. I don't even want that stupid fucking wrap on my menu, but like, it comes back to health, dude. What is health? I don't recommend the buffalo chicken wrap, But if you're like 350 pounds or you're 300 pounds, or even if you're 250 pounds, you could eat that fucking thing and lose weight rather than like my Uncle Tom, right? So my Aunt Linda died And I felt bad for the guy, so I started sending him food. He was eating a ham and cheese sandwich with mustard and mayonnaise every day. He started eating one of the salmon meals. I think it was like the salmon burger back, whatever. He eats salmon every day. And within a couple months, the dude's health completely reversed. You know, his cholesterol, the sodium, everything. And this guy gave up his fucking sandwich for an Eat Clean Bro meal, and his whole fucking health panels, all of his blood panels changed. Health journeys are something, man. And what's funny too is you see all this shit with it just comes back to the internet, man. I actually fucking help people, dude. I actually save lives. I actually have success stories. Whereas somebody who's trying to sell a fucking supplement or a vitamin who wants to fearmonger you on the internet with fucking fear marketing tactics, like, all right, man, you got me. Go save the fucking world with your fucking multivitamin. Why don't you go do some real work instead of leveraging a co-packer and all you do is sit on your computer and do marketing ads? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got to deal with people like this.
I'm sure. I mean, and then also the thing is you have a huge enterprise and company that's running, which it's the thing with a lot of those things is as well is that like they're the people at the top, you know, they're in a successful position, maybe by actually helping, maybe by conning people, but most of these people that are spending too much time on the internet, they're not in the position that you're in. So that's also a little bit different.
It's like, I don't know. It always comes down to the buffalo chicken wrap, dude. Like, fucking get the buffalo chicken wrap off the menu, and then I guess I don't know. But so I had this woman, right? I had this holistic nurse, which makes me laugh because I don't think this person could get a job for $20 an hour in the real world, but on the internet, she's a fucking Lord and Savior. So getting fried on her page. She's like, based on the research I've done, and I go, you fucking got your information on eatcleanbro.com. What fucking research did you conduct, dude? Like, you're going on my website, research on my company? Like, you're driving me crazy. Another thing that I have to deal with are companies. Like, I got brought in to be a consultant for this company because they were having trouble. And their customer service is like, yeah, we don't use any, no vegetable oils, no seed oils. We only cook with extra virgin olive oil. We don't use... Their vegan menu has chicken base. They're selling a fucking bison burger that's Black Angus. It's not even the same animal. Okay? So on the website, these guys look like they're the greatest thing, right? Their meals are $9.99. They're organic. They're this, they're that. Dude, yeah, fucking right, buddy. Okay? There's just when you're on the internet, dude, this is the thing that's fucked up about the internet. So you could be on the internet in Florida, and if you fuck somebody in California, they have to fly to Florida to come sue you. It's like a total mess, dude. It's like the internet is not up to date with what, like, say me and you were at a pizzeria and I don't know, like some crime happens at the pizzeria versus on the internet, it's different. So like, you can if you're unethical, you can get away with murder online, and there's no way to really get you. So that's another thing I've been seeing a lot. Like,
less responsibility.
It's like one of the things about me, dude, with this person who wanted to slander me. I say, hey, listen, you might not like that buffalo wrap, but that's what the fuck it is. Down to the, you know, because my registered dietitian's absolutely out of her mind too. And we're so transparent at Eat Clean Bro, it may even affect our sales in a negative way. But Eat Clean Bro is about transparency and the truth. And you might not like it, but that's what it is. I could be like that other company and just fucking lie and leave out a whole bunch of shit and even put fucking animal products in vegan meals, which is not, I don't know how that works, but there's like shit going on with prepared meal companies that are just so not kosher. And it's like, yo, do you want me to tell a pretty little lie? And like, I don't know, man. Oh, and they were just cooking with there was no extra virgin olive oil in that building either, dude. So it is what it is.
Yeah, dude. I think that having a baseline
So
of
so
truth
basically, what, I'm not to interrupt you, but
Yeah, go ahead.
where
Go
it
ahead.
comes back where it comes back to the internet and retail is, how the fuck do I make advertisements that can compete with unethical companies or private equity backed companies that are in the business not to make a better product or to help people, but to just eradicate competition and take market share. So that's what I'm up
Mm-hmm.
against when I'm doing advertising. And I'm like, fuck this, dude. Fuck it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out. I'm not going to waste money on Facebook and Google. I'll just do what I've
Mm-hmm.
always done, bro. I'll just be like William Wallace on horseback, dude. I'll just go and rile up the locals, and I'll just keep dominating my local area, man. Because, like I said, bro, the second they stop spending that money on ads, dude, their companies are all going to fold because their product is a house. It's a skyscraper of straw,
Mm.
and that's how it all ties back into each other. So it's like I'm avoiding the bullshit and the lies. I'm going somewhere else. I'll put my attention into there. But it all ties back to giving everybody a better value. So instead of wasting money on internet ads, I'll go build out a store. I'll give the people a discount on food that they enjoy. And that's how I'll move. I'll move away from bullshit, lies, wasting money, into putting money into something where I can help people and give somebody like a discount on something I think is very valuable. And that's how that all ties into each other.
Yeah, I mean, I think having the baseline of truth is more important than being something you're not. It's hard to, I grew up in suburban New Jersey, like yourself,
Uh-huh.
and I like that as a baseline. It's hard to if your self and whatever brand you build is based in truth, you're gonna attract a lot of friends and genuine love, but you're also gonna rub a lot of people the wrong way, especially people that don't know you. But I think that it's better to be that way. It's hard to exist in a structure like right now. I mean, you own your company, which is great. I'm existing in someone else's structure at the moment, other than this podcast. But so it's hard. People don't like when you tell them the truth, but I'd rather stand on that than some stupid shit. And you do that, which I appreciate. I think, and that's why you're successful at what you do. And in addition to a number of other factors, but how do you is that what Eat Clean Bro, or at least you, is that what like this started as, was just like, I'm gonna do what is true to me and then I'm gonna and run with it? How'd you get
Yeah,
started in
man.
that? Yeah.
That's just how I've always been, dude. And treat people the way you want to be treated. I mean, fucking Jesus, man. Just trying to be like Jesus, dude. Just trying to be like Jesus. Like, just literally just trying to be like Jesus, dude. Just, what would Jesus do? You know what I mean? Like, just something like in the eyes of whatever. Just pretty much that's it, dude. That's the moral compass. And
You think being a parent has changed you a lot? I don't know how old your kids are now, and I don't even know. You in your later 30s now, or mid 30s?
yeah, I'm 38. My little guy's 6. My little girl's 4. Um,
How
it's
is I mean,
definitely
how is
it's definitely beating the shit out of me and my wife, dude. You know,
mm,
I mean, you could tell I don't hit my kids. You know, with the way they are, they're fucking out of their minds. You know, me and my wife just had kids to love them, dude. You know, so they're good. They're they're a lot. My wife is very good at being a mom. I'm kind of just like in the background, dude. Sometimes I'll make them food and stuff. They love it. Play with the leaf blower with my son. You know, just try to try to be try to be loving.
mm,
I had a
I'm
I had a great childhood, but I had a very turbulent childhood. I mean, I just there's this meme on the internet that is like, I'm not gonna fuck you up like I got fucked up, and then the little kids, it's like a whole new world of fucked up. You know what I mean? Like, um,
mm,
all as a parent, you do the best you can, and at the end of the day, I know my mom and dad did the best they could. I know they gave me 100%, And now I'm trying to give my kids my 100%. You know, I'm in my own way, my 100%. But thank God Kayla's around. Otherwise, I don't know. I guess I have like this problem where I think I could always be better. I could always do more. That's like a trait of successful people where they always feel like they could do more. And that, I guess, I'm getting to this point where I'm just like, fuck, man. I don't know if I could do more, but
I mean,
I
what do
love
you
my
think
kids.
with having a family and then having the business? Do you think that you're gonna fucking just like translate it into something else over time, or do you think you're just gonna keep running with this eat clean, bro, or you don't even know yet? Kind of take it one step.
I'm probably going to figure out a way to just keep growing, which I think I'm going to do. I have a couple deals lined up. As long as I'm in the prepared food space, I will be a force. I will always be a force. I will always be the guy to beat, no matter how much money you get from private equity. I will always be the guy. But you know,
And is that like deep? Was that deeply purposeful to you when you got started, and then still today? Is that like that's your sort of like you gave birth to an idea, and that idea is a form of it's a life form that you created. Do you feel like that is a really deep purpose for you that could change, or you just think that that's your idea and that's where you're gonna stick?
I thought I was really passionate about health food. I am passionate about value and ethics and integrity. So, like, for me, when I was younger, there was no healthy option. There was Jared from Subway selling sandwiches, McDonald's was sponsoring the Olympics. So, I thought the passion was deeply rooted to health food, which my passion for health food obviously is it's all I know. But then like you get into like what is health, right? Like I was talking to you about blood health. Value. I want to sell people valuable product, right? So like I'm taking commodity items, I'm manufacturing a product, and I'm providing it for an honest living. And that's what I'm the most giving people the best, whatever the fuck I make, whether it's a chicken parm, spaghetti and meatballs, grilled chicken, broccoli, and brown rice, whatever the fuck I make for the customer, to the best of my culinary ability, along with the best bang for the buck. I mean, that's what I'm the most. That's what I'm the most passionate about. In the last like few years, with the way the price of groceries gone up, dude, it's really affected my passion because I'm like, this sucks, dude. Like, constantly triple checking the price of a fish or chicken. I'm like, how the fuck does this shit cost so much, man? Like, the price of chicken has gone up, dude, a lot. It's like discouraging because, bro, in 2017, I was selling meals for $9.99. Everybody loved me. It was fucking great. I was making great money. Customers were happy. They were getting a fucking deal. And now it's like, shit, $14.49, $14.99. My price has gone up 50%, but some of the costs on the items have gone up 300%. So I'm like, this fucking sucks for both of us, dude. Like, it sucks for you to buy it. It sucks for me to make it. Like this shit is fucked up. Like, it's not a fun time. Like, I'm grateful for the support. I'm grateful for the business. I'll always fight for my customer. But it's just been such a rotten time for everybody. I mean,
Yeah, I think a lot of the inflation was like deliberate. I mean, that's another topic, but the whole way that they inflated the currency seems like there was an orchestrated plan to do that, and it crippled a lot of people and a lot of businesses, still crippling them. But
yeah, dude, it's going to take me years to get like 2022. That 1 year alone probably cost me 4 operating years. It's going to take me about 4 years to just to recoup. Doing construction during COVID, like I'm probably going to have to work an additional 10 years just to break even on what happened to me through the backlash of all this shit. So, but at the end of the day, right? I say this, I would do this for free. So the fact that I get paid, me and my wife are paid, and we have a good life. I mean, I'm up big. I mean, there was a series of events that cost me probably in the neighborhood of $10 million, but nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares to listen. And it's a whole bunch of what ifs. And there's nothing I can do about it. So I have to keep going, and I have to do what makes me happy, and that's helping people and doing nice things for people, and like keep going, you know. And
Yeah, and I'm sure you know a lot of successful people that focus on the losses sometimes more than the gains, and that's not always the approach either. I mean, I know it's when you're dealing with large numbers, it's difficult to think of how much was lost, but I think that that's a good state that you're in, where you're like, fuck it, I would do it for free. Do you?
I did, dude.
You know,
I did do Week Clean Bro for free from fucking 2005 to 2013. I failed all those years. It was for free. So I did, what's that, 7, 8 years? I did this shit for free. So when I say when I say things, you know, what really bothers me, dude, is when I say things, I fucking say things because, like, I just said something that meant 8 years of my life to you, right? And it might sound like maybe I just said it, like, oh, I would do this for free. No, motherfucker, I did do it for free for 8 fucking years. I was on the phone with a private equity guy, and I was like, crime is out of control. And he's like, oh, yeah, well, you know, if you watch Fox News, or if you watch CNN, and I go, I don't watch the fucking news. I said 2 of my best friends were home invaded, and my aunt was fucking jumped, pistol whipped, gun in her mouth, had to beg for her life, and her business was robbed. And then my 2 other buddies had their cars stolen. I said, those are 5 people in my immediate circle. I said, I'm not talking about the fucking news, buddy. I'm telling you crime is bad because my neighborhood is getting robbed every fucking day, and that there was 25,000 cars recovered in Newark. That's just the recovered ones. Like, when I talk, if I say something, it's not like I'm just, oh yeah, crime is bad because I want a fucking conversation starter. I don't want a conversation starter. I'm at a point where I'm like, dude, like, when I talk and I say something, and then there'll be just someone who tries to talk back, I'm like, shut up. Seriously, like, you're not in a position. Like, I have a line of sight. When I was a young kid, I was surrounded by very successful people. And one thing my dad always taught me was, when you're in a room with successful people, shut the fuck up. And there's times where I could see that people just, they don't have what it takes to be successful. They're not self-aware enough to know, you know, they might be a Rottweiler, but they're in a cage with a bunch of lions. Like, learn from the lions, dude. Learn from the people around you. And it's really crazy. So that's why, which is crazy, because we have access to all these people, right? The internet could be such a successful tool, and it could be such a positive networking tool. But what it is a bunch of fucking losers who somehow obtained an audience that want to silence people like me. When all I've ever done was try to help people. I started my empire with $300. It's not fun, it's not easy, but, like, dude, there's people on the internet, right? Like, there was started getting into it with some kid at a college, something about college degrees. And I said that, like, my college degrees, I said, college is the most expensive place to go if you don't know why you're there, what you're doing. And, like, the whole thread got real crazy, which, obviously, if you want to be an engineer or a doctor or a lawyer, there's specialized fields you need college. But if you're unsure what you want to do with your life, do not go to college and get a business administration degree like I did, because you're going to rack up a fucking monster bill, student loans. You're never going to be able to get out of it. Go to college for a fucking reason. Go to college for a career that pays. You know, when I see people get up to their neck in college debt because they want to be a social worker, you know, the social worker makes $40,000 a year or whatever, 50, 60, maybe it's gone up, but you can't go to a fucking $100,000 a year university to become a social worker. That's just, like, mathematically stupid.
Yeah, not to mention that the universities are, like, completely still captured by their ideology, and then you have to pay an insane amount of money. Like, if you go to a community college and you want to be a social worker, that's great, because you're going to spend 10 grand and you'll be able to pay it off. But if you're
Yes.
if you're at if you out of state tuition, come to Arizona
But what
to pay
happens
35 grand a year. Yeah.
when you talk to somebody, right? I use the word social worker, and people get so emotional. I'm trying to help people. I respect that. I respect that you're trying to help people. That's very honorable of you. But you're going into a career, you're going to be in college loan debt for the rest of your life, and you're going to financially struggle for the rest of your life because of this financial decision you made. And the same thing with being a chef. So when you say social worker, it's an emotional trigger because they're like, I'm doing this to help people. Chef, less emotional. They go, oh yeah, why would I go to culinary school, get like up to my neck in debt? The pay maybe isn't whatever, depending on what you're trying to do with the industry. But if you're going to be like a line cook at a pizzeria, it doesn't make sense to go to culinary school. But like you're making these lifelong decisions at a young age, and without proper guidance. That's why it's so important to have good parents. Anyway, man, I'm getting like sidetracked here. I'm just
It's fine.
trying to drop some gems for the listeners. Who knows?
I like it, dude. I like it. It's open format. But yeah, dude. So would that be your advice to up and comers trying to be successful? Like what your dad told you? Like if you're in a room of successful people, shut the fuck up. What are the other characteristics you think? And maybe you can't convince someone to be successful, but if you could, what would you try to tell them?
It's gonna hurt, man. It's gonna hurt. You're gonna cry. You're gonna hate yourself. I mean, it's fucking brutal out there. I mean, it's not like a highlight reel. You have to learn at an uncomfortable pace. You have to deal with rejection. You'll get clobbered daily, depending on like how hard you or how bad you want it or what you're going after. But my advice for people is, it's funny. When I was a younger kid, it was very upsetting to me, but I did it right. I dated people. I took jobs. I had tons of jobs. I kept getting fired. And when you're younger, what you want to do is you want to learn from as many people as possible. You want to learn what you like. You want to learn what you don't like. And, see, for me, I'm happily married. I love my wife. I really do. I really like being with her. And I really like being with her because I know what it's like to be with the wrong people. And I've been with enough wrong people to know, wow, man, my wife really is for me. And I don't have any doubt about it because it's verified. Same thing with like my line of work. This is what I love to do. I love doing this because I've done other things. I know why I love my job. I know why I love my wife. I know why I love my life. I've taken I took like a massive financial hit the last 4 years. And I've been able to deal with it and get through it because I'm able to be like, hey, this is what I'm grateful for. Grateful for my wife. Grateful that I get to do what I love. Like, I know I would do this for free. And where most people would probably panic, have mental breakdown, maybe commit suicide, I dealt with it day by day. And I just took it day by day, day by day, day by day. And it got better. And now I'm out of it. And I'm like, I got through all this because I know what I want out of life. I know what I'm grateful for. I know what's important to me. And what I'm talking about is soul searching. So the things that I'm talking about are like what's important to you, right? What is meaningful to you? You have to these are things you have to ask yourself. You have to intimately know yourself. And I would say probably 9 out of 10 people don't even take the time to know and get to know themselves, let alone somebody else. So you're trying to go through life, you're trying to figure it out. But it's who's asking you the tough questions, right? How are you drilling into what's important to you, what's truly important to you? And that is boy to adulthood. And that is the hardest phase of any man's life. That is the hardest. That is the hardest fucking time, is figuring out those fucking questions. And that's what your whole family relies on, you as a man, right? Your kids, because if you're some dude with traveling eyes, you're cheating on your wife, you're a piece of shit man, what do your kids grow up to see? So like it's like what type of work are you putting in as like a young adult, and what are you doing? You know, like these are just things I did. I didn't know I fucking did them. My dad helped me do them. My dad was a real motherfucker about this stuff, but you know, one
What
thing
is
after another, dude, and I got it done.
for you? What's important to you? I mean, we touched on it a little bit, but what was what do you find meaningful in life?
Honoring my marriage, being a faithful husband, being a man of integrity, man of honor, courage, like core values to my core that are like just something money can't buy. So what type of a man am I? Obviously, I'm not the best. I could be better, you know. Sometimes I drink too much. I have too much fun with my friends, but like honoring my marriage. And one of the greatest quotes ever, back in my life, man, all I ever wanted was my mom and dad to love each other. And that was one thing in my life I never got, you know. They had a really nasty divorce and they hated each other. And my high school girlfriend, I didn't know a husband and wife were supposed to love each other until I was 16. And they had this magnet on the refrigerator, and it said, the greatest gift a father can give to his children is love to their mother. And I was like, God damn, you know, I think I started crying actually when I saw it, because it like hit me so hard as like a kid. Like my parents always like gave me nice gifts. I always had great birthday parties, and Christmas was always magical. But at the end of the day, all I really wanted was that. And that was something I carried with me for life. So when I think of my kids, because they say like you always want to give your kids something you didn't have. So like loving my wife is something that is what I hopefully my kids see as, like, as fucked up as that is. Like, not that that's my gift to them, but like that was just something I always wanted and never had. So being able to just love my wife, and my kids get to see me hug her or kiss her, like they get so happy. I know that they it's a really nice thing. So
Yeah, I think there's something powerful there, and then it changes your attachment styles. I'm sure early on in life, you know, I don't know, everyone responds to trauma differently, but early on in life, maybe you had more fucked up attachments, or maybe it just drove you to be a better dude. I don't know, you know, but it's but I can relate in the sense like where you see something, you don't really have a good example of it, so it's hard to even conceptualize, and then you know, hopefully you can create that for your people.
yeah,
You know.
yeah. My dad remarried. You know, he was good. He was good to his wife. She had a great family that I was around. Also, my mom's side of the family is great too. I mean, they're all married and together. So like, I had examples. I just didn't, just not with my mom and dad. But like I said, dude, individually they both gave me 100%.
Yeah.
And it is what it is, dude. I turned out fine. But for me, this was just part of my life that was meaningful to me. You know, that's what I want to give to my kids. I want my kids to know daddy loves mommy, and I want them to be able to come home to a calm, happy house and not get screamed at and shit. And I mean, within reason. I mean, kids drive you fucking crazy, dude. It's really hard not to scream, especially when they don't listen ever. But they don't fucking listen.
I feel it, dude. That's I think that, you know, finding meaning in life, and you keep bringing that up, but we also live in a victim culture now too, and I'm sure you see that on the internet. Everyone's a victim of something, and that's not helpful. And I think meaning
Gets you nowhere, bro. Thinking like that gets you nowhere, and
yeah,
none of them are ever gonna. Dude, look, I can tell you this. Maybe Kanye West. Maybe he's the only one who'll be a billionaire who's a chronic victim. Maybe him. He does a great job at it. But Yeah, maybe him, dude. He might be, maybe he might be the only one. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, the dude is a marketing genius. I think he's great. But I don't know. Like, yeah, dude.
And then to go back to your, there's the purpose, the meaning, the family, and all that. And then, how much in your life do you feel like not acting or trying to play a role that you didn't fit? How much does that make you the person that you are? Do you feel like that's everything?
Yeah, well, that's where like E Clean Bro came from because you know in 2013 that was a really edgy name, dude. That was like, holy shit, you're gonna call your company that? Um, it was really edgy. Now there's like slutty vegan and big gay ice cream. I don't know if big gay ice cream was around before me, but being gay in New York City is like super normal, and even like 12 or 15 years ago, it didn't matter. But that was a really edgy name, you know. E Clean Bro was a really edgy name. So, but the whole purpose was that, like, dude, look, this is who I am. This is how I talk. I'm not. I just don't. I want people to know what they're in for. Like when they support my company, I want them to know, you know, who I am and what I'm about.
Mm-hmm.
So,
what are just a few more questions before we wrap? I know you're, but what are some of the health practices you do now? Obviously, you got all the testing and things like that, but in terms of stress management and just feeling good, eating well, what are some of the health practices that you lean on?
do the geez, it's kind of excessive.
That's good. Can be good.
Yeah. So I get an IV every week. I get a deep tissue massage. I get my hips. I do a stretch with Hannah. I get it stretched out for now.
Hannah, Joe's fiance.
Yep.
Correct? Cool.
Yep. I walk probably like 3 or 4 miles every day. I work out. I just started swimming. Do like high intensity circuits. Got like vitamins, all types of shit.
Nice.
What else? Obviously like E Clean Bro. I just lowered the carbs, so you know, that's all.
Are you under a lot of stress, or do you tolerate it pretty well? Like
I'm under, yeah. I think like I put so much time into like managing my stress, but yeah, I'm under. I think if anybody who is normal had the stress I'm under, they would just commit suicide immediately. But I've been under this amount of stress for a while, and I'm still here. So I'm still here. Haven't done it yet, you know. So yeah, and I don't say that lightly. Yeah, no, I don't know, dude. I don't know if you would feed off fucking. It's almost over though, dude. It's almost over. I got through it. It's almost over, and I have a couple more months, and then it's almost over. All my bridge loans, all that shit, it's over. So
a lot happened.
Yeah, I got fucking taken to hell and back because of negligence, state negligence. So I don't. So I'm happy to be alive. I took my beating like a man, and when I was the most stressed out and when I was the most afraid, me and my wife were the most charitable. So like the bison, you fucking head the storm. You go into the storm. The bison goes into the storm because they know that's the shortest amount of time to deal with the storm. Go into the storm. And that's what I did. And they say everything happens for a reason. I did not want to hear that at the time I was going through it, but I went through it. And now I go, wow, you know what? I took my beating like a man. I got through one of the hardest times of my life. My friends were there for me. I learned a lot from it. And although it was negligence and it was world events, and honestly, dude, I don't think I did anything fucking wrong. I dealt with the cards I was dealt like a man, and I got through it. And it was horrible. I mean, it was horrible. It was horrible. It was gut-wrenching, horrible. I had to let people go that I really loved and cared about. I had to make a lot of painful, tough decisions. I had to increase my price that I did not want to do. I mean, there was a lot of hard things I had to do to get through this, but it looks like within the next 6 months, a lot of things should change. So,
and I don't know anything about owning a large business or even a meal prep, but I know in food, one thing with food generally that I feel is like no matter how good of a job you try to do, it's always you always feel like you're coming up short, because even if 2% of people have a negative experience, it sucks. You want it to be 100%, but it's difficult to accomplish.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's why I try to just, I try to give you the most amount of protein I can give you for the price. That's all, man. I don't know. I just try to provide value. I double down on value, culinary procedures, and things I know nobody else is doing. So, like, just all the extra steps to provide value to give you a better product. Like, I think the proof is in the pudding. Like, when you have an Eat Clean Bro meal, you can tell, wow, fuck, this is pretty good. I mean, fucking is. Like, it's a freaking good meal. So.
Was there anything, before we wrap it up, is there anything you want to leave listeners with, or feel like we covered some good ground? Any words?
Well, basically, like, you have to know, God, what am I saying? I think, like, good times don't last, bad times don't last. You got to know what you want. You got to know what you want out of life, know what you're grateful for. You're not going to get through it alone. I mean, I'm a big fan of my wife. I think, God, man, there's 1,000 ways to die, dude. You got to hold on to what you think is, you just, geez, this is a loaded question. If there's like one takeaway, fucking keep your head up and keep fucking fighting. Keep doing what you love doing. Keep fighting for what you believe in. And just don't fucking quit, man. Just keep fucking going. That's all. Like, and this is me telling you, 2022, man, just fucking crying in pillows almost every night. Like, dear God, what happened? What did I do? From ultimately, like, I built a huge manufacturing plant, and there were severe delays, increased the supply chain issues, increased cost of materials. Like, it went over budget by millions, and we missed it by like 2 years. So, like, so much money was wasted. It was devastating. And I'm just looking at like this pile of rubble. Like, Jesus, what the fuck am I gonna do? Everything was so good before I started doing this, and then just piece by piece, like, you're just looking at this pile of rubble, and just brick by brick by brick by brick, you remove all, and then you start putting it back together, and like, it was horrible, but I got through it and I did it, and you could, as far as the listeners go, like, it's fucking there for you too, man. You could do it. You don't get overwhelmed by what you don't know. Double down on what you do know, and ask people for help who know. If you need to have a question on legal, see if you have a lawyer as a friend, or try to get legal advice. Don't try to learn all the laws and stuff. Like, be quick, be resourceful. Never give up on things, but also know when to surrender on things.
Hell yeah, man. Well, I appreciate you doing this, like I said.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
And